Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Now, I wanted to get this video out a little bit sooner, but the community stream really caught me off guard with a ton of content. So, this is coming out a little bit later, but I did get this video in before the community stream. I recorded this, but now I'm actually doing the commentary now. But what I wanted to do was I did want to do some more shenanigans with Iris and Tifa and all that stuff. So, what I wanted to do is I did want to do a comp here on the most current Shinryu with Dorgann. Showing how Iris's BT effect is really, really good for Dorgann and can help output a lot of damage. And what I really liked here, and then running Tifa is also nice because Tifa does the really big damage, Iris can copy it, and all that. The big thing that I struggled with the first time I attempted a Tifa run was that, you know, she's so single target focused and the enemies are so tanky, it was hard to actually get at all of them. Well, what's nice is with Dorgann around, Dorgann's going to be like constantly spitting out AoE damage, to kind of help spread the damage out as Tifa's doing her single target, right? So we're going to go through and we're going to kind of just ramp here and do our thing. This fight was a little bit longer. The actual video here is like 25 minutes, so I probably will do some skipping ahead. I just kind of want to highlight some main points of the fight as we get into it, right? Now, if you haven't checked it out yet, I do have a video on the crystal chambers, just talking about like what colors I think you guys should pick right away. So definitely check that out if you're kind of debating on what color you want to start with on the crystal chambers. Kind of blindsided us. Nobody was expecting that this early. Kind of crazy. But for those of you unfamiliar with Dorgann, essentially what he does is anytime you break an enemy, he's going to follow up with a counter. And then if his counter breaks an enemy, he will follow up again. Which is why he works so good with like Tifa, because Tifa's doing single target. So if you have all the enemies unbroken, Tifa can just break one of them. Dorgann can combo out, break the second one, and double counter. So Dorgann a lot of the times will be double countering, which is very strong, especially during an FR. And the reason why he combos so well with Iris is that her BT effect sets their max brave to 0. And when their max brave is that low, it makes it so that they unbreak very quickly, like every other turn, essentially. Dorgann also works great in this fight because wind is one of the elements they want. So he is actually just, in general, a very, very, very nice character to use. And you can see there, with the Brave gains, Shantado would have had us there, but Dorgann just keeps keeps off-turn countering and just breaking them out of it, which is really nice. So the fact that he carries wind is huge, because without the wind damage, they're very hard to break if you don't have one of the elements they want. So I had brought in the selfie friend for Iris just to get launching on, and now I'm just going to wall out, and we're going to get Iris back. And then I believe we are going to go into Iris BT, and then you're going to see with Iris BT just how much Dorgann starts countering, kind of crazy. It's going to be really good. But yeah, this is a nice little team setup we could do here. Alright, so we're back to Iris. And Iris, I'm kind of like, yeah, I do kind of want to just get into Force Time. Luckily, that doesn't do HP damage. That would be really bad if that did HP damage. Now, the other thing that we're going to do in this fight, because we don't really meet the conditions to cancel their force, we end up kind of just going through this while they're in Force Time pretty much the whole time, and we still get it done. Now, I did bring Xande Call here to enchant for Dark, because my thought was I could enchant Tifa for Dark, and then Tifa's FR could cancel their force, was my thought there, right? Because I believe the two conditions were to deal dark damage or to do FR damage while you're at Cap Brave, right? Alright, so we go into Iris BT. And now that we're Dark Enchanted, Iris should be able to do a lot of damage here. Yep, Brave damage looking good. Gladio slamming her down for some damage. Alright. And then now you're going to see Dorgann's going to start to go crazy, because these guys are going to unbreak a lot. Alright, so now Tifa's up. And I think we're going to go Force Time at this point. Oh, yeah. Oh, also, we're showing off Maria Call. Maria Call is really nasty because when the enemies are unbreaking, Maria's Call goes and it actually resets them and unbreaks them. So you can see right there, it reset them all. And as the traps go off, it's going to reset them back to 0. It's pretty nasty. And then Dorgann just goes crazy with all the breaking here. So we go FR. Now, I believe I did make a mistake here. Let me just double check. Yeah, we made a mistake. All right. So what I didn't realize when I was doing the fight is you can only cancel the force time by attacking the middle Shantado. I attacked one of the ads on the side. So that should have canceled out the force because that was dark damage. And I didn't realize at the time, because I actually read the boss info after I was done with the fight, because I did 2 different times I thought I was going to cancel the force and it didn't work, and I was really confused. And then when I read it carefully, you can only cancel it on the middle Shantado. So I messed up there. So we just go through this in their force, because there is a second strat I do later on to try to cancel force, and it also doesn't work, because at that time the middle Shantado was dead. But that's okay. We still can show off what we want to show off here, and we actually still win the fight. So once again, anytime somebody breaks, Dorgann's going to follow up, right? And Dorgann there, that unbroke everybody, which was awesome. We get the follow-up, and then Dorgann comes back in. Like, just crazy. Double follow-ups again. And you can see the damage for Dorgann really starts to add up. And you can see at least an enemy is, like, unbreaking every turn now. So we're getting breaks constantly. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to Echo here. Try to get our gauge up for Tifa as best as we can. Now once again, a break, and then Dorgann comes out and says, yep, and then he got a break on that, so he's going to follow up again. Yeah, like this setup is really nasty. And keep your eye out on Dorgann too, because Sephiroth, I'm thinking Sephiroth is going to be coming. And then, see, there you go. There's the Maria trap. It broke them, and triggered a Dorgann. So these Maria traps are always going to be triggering Dorgann, which is really nice. But keep your eye out for Sephiroth, because a lot of us are thinking Sephiroth might be that question mark intersecting wills that they threw in there. And if it is, Sephiroth and Dorgann is a really nasty combo, because Sephiroth will every single turn reset their Brave to 1, so the enemies are always going to be breakable. So just keep that in mind. The unfortunate part is Dorgann is one of the characters that got skipped, because I think Dorgann was going to get Echo. He might still, but who knows? This whole month is so weird. It's really hard to predict what's going to happen, because like we know what they announced, but there's a couple of question mark spots in there, which, you know, one I think is Quistis and Reigns, and then the other one I think is Sephiroth, but the Sephiroth one definitely could be something else. And then Joshua did say there's stuff that wasn't announced that may still pop up, and I know Oran was the big omission. But then, yeah, Dorgann is another one. Setzer's another one. So there's a lot of stuff that wasn't announced that would have been in between some of these characters they brought forward. So we'll have to see how they handle this. Now, the reason why I do think they are bringing certain characters up is I think for the Crystal Chambers. Is I think what they're trying to do. They're trying to balance the crystal colors. But there you go. Look, and just Maria's trap. There's a break. Dorgann's going to pop out. Double counter again. Like, you just see Dorgann is just actually taking over the fight. Dorgann is dishing out a ton of damage with all these follow-ups. It's pretty nasty when you get him going. He's a character that I admit I haven't really used enough, but like doing this Iris combo really makes me want to pull out Dorgann more, because this is very fun. And here we are. We're going to Echo again. Slapping that Moogle down. Little 6 mil AoE shot there, not too bad. And you can see they're just hitting us for nothing, because they have like no attack, they have no stats. With Tifa, we're definitely, I debated echoing here, because I know I'm going to hit the big shot during burst phase, but I decided to save that in case I need to go into another force time, and it's good, because I did have to go into another force time. So I think what I do here is I think I might just Battle Cry, or yeah, full throttle, just a free instant turn, and then we're going to go into Tifa burst phase here and just get the full 7 turns with Tifa, I think was the plan. Alright, so we get that nice damage there. And then here comes Dorgann. And at 400%, what's Dorgann doing here? What is that, 1.2 mil AoE he's doing, and he's doing that twice. So Dorgann now is doing over like 2 million every time he's getting these double counters. It's kind of crazy how much damage he's putting out with all of these counters. If I actually had the time, I would sit and add up all of his damage, but I bet he's competing with Tifa for damage in this fight, because he's doing so many freaking counters. Alright, so we go into Tifa Burst, and what we're going to do is we're going to burst down the middle Shantado, and we kind of have to for this strat, because we don't really have a way to counteract her red aura, right? So the only way to counteract it is to kill her. Because she's going to go into red aura, and the only way to cancel it is to give her a turn, and she's going to instant kill you. So if you don't have a way to deal with paralyzing her or like reviving, you flat out have to kill her before she gets a turn. So that's what we have to do. And the reason why, normally this wouldn't be so bad, but she does have frame turns. Without frame turns, we wouldn't have to burst her down, because the other thing we're getting out of this Dorgann combo, because we're breaking so much, we're pushing the enemies back into oblivion. So it is kind of like a delay strategy. The only problem is you can see the middle Shantado has frame turns, so we're not pushing her back on these breaks. So this is why we have to make sure she dies here. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. All right, so Tifa, now we're at about 600%. So let's beat rush down. Big burst effect damage. So the unfortunate part is it worked out so that when the burst phase ended, that Iris's turn did not come out after. So we don't really get any busted copying in this video, unfortunately. Iris copying works a little bit better when you're kind of not doing a Tifa burst phase, so that, like, you know, you just set it up so that every Tifa turn during a normal burst setup that you're just copying it. But yeah, when you do the burst phase like this and go in, we're just eating up the whole force time with Tifa. So we don't really get to copy very well. But this video is more to show off kind of the Maria and Dorgann and all the breaking, right? Comboed with the Iris BT. But yeah, Dorgann now 2 mil per combo here. So he did 4 mil in counterattacks. AoE, like full AoE 4 mil. So that's what 12 mil Dorgann just did off turn right there, total damage. Pretty good. Pretty good. Obviously, we're going to save the Tifa FR for the very end. I was kind of debating how to balance it here, right? Because I've got that middle Shantado pretty low. So I was debating, like, I probably, what I should have done here was I probably should have done the FR attack on one of the ads and, like, really burst them down. But then I put myself at risk of maybe not getting that middle Shantado dead. I just really wasn't sure. And I just said, we have to guarantee the middle Shantado dead. So I did do the FR in the middle. I probably did waste some damage, because I feel like this is going to do more than 24% of Shantado's health. Because, yeah, it's just a ton of damage. Yeah, I think we definitely wasted some damage there, but that's okay. It's going to be a big shot. This is Tifa's Big Daddy shot here. And I did a brave attack there because I knew it was already dead. So yeah, we did like 50 mil there, but we had to get that Shantado done. But yeah, with the Dorgann counters and like the BTF attack here at the end, we maybe would have been fine. It's probably what I should have done, to be honest. But now we can hit one of the ads here with the BT attack at least. Because what, they're at 69. Let's see how much they get bursted down here. So they go from 69. Yeah, 203 mil is not bad. Yeah, down to 55. It would have been iffy on that middle Shantado. So I guess I'm glad I played it safe. And we did get the fight done just fine. Now this is going to kind of get to be like a little bit more of a boring spot. So we're just going to kind of rush ahead here. But you've pretty much seen like the combo, right? So let's just skip ahead. And all we're doing is we're just fighting those the ads down. And, you know, Iris's BT effect is going to fall off. But Dorgann's just comboing off like crazy, right? The ads really aren't any threat, right? Now, I'll show you what I did here that kind of got messed up. Was Tifa, I set it up where we're doing a bunch of launching, and with Tifa, I kept doing brave attacks to keep her brave at max. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to cancel their force out. Well, once again, it doesn't work because you have to hit the middle Shantado. So I thought this was going to cancel force again because I thought maybe there's something weird with the dark one. But no, I just kept attacking the wrong freaking enemy. So we did go this whole fight with them in force time. But you can see they're still only at turn 16. Like all the delay we're doing, we just don't give them any turns because of all the breaking. So yeah, we just go through the burst phase here. And we're just going to start to burst them down. But you can see they're very tanky. Like, even through the end of the burst, like, they're still alive. So, yeah, and then we just have to go through. I did end up copying an attack here. How much did we copy here? I think this was a decent copy we threw off. Because it was at the tail end of a force time here. So, yeah, we did a 13. Is that a 13 mil copy? Yeah, that was. So, we did a nice 13 mil copy there. So, that was a really nice spot for Iris, showing that, like, after force time ends, she can still copy the force damage. So we did 13 mil there after force time ended, and that really brought it down. That was really helpful. And then at that point, we pretty much just go down to the end here and get them finished off, right? So That one's dead, and then Dorgann, I think, comes in with the finishing blow here. Maybe, not quite. So Tifa's going to get the finishing blow here. Yep, and then we're done. So anyways, guys, there you go. Beating the new Shinryu fight with a Dorgann Iris combo. You just saw it was constant, man. And once again, if the enemies don't have frame turns, it's really nasty because you just push them back into oblivion with all of the break delay, and they just never get turned. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this combo. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.